And sa pagsisimula, unahin natin yung siguro, simple at relevant ang makakaalay natin dito sa restoration ng ating environment. May question dito from anonymous attendee, sabi niya, may I ask if there is suitability map for mangroves in the Philippines? Also production guide. Thank you. So probably how to access those information, kailangan nila yun to be a part of the story.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that question. That's a very relevant one. As far as suitability map, we don't have yet because we have, perhaps we have one of the longest coastline. So when you talk about suitability map, it will really take, big work to develop one. But anyhow, we have a lot of guides as far as mangrove rehabilitation is concerned. It, one goes by to another. That's why always we emphasize to make it science-based, integrated assessment should be done first. When say integrated assessment, you do the biology, the topography, the sediment, and even the social is very important to be able to come up with a right management and rehabilitation plan or program. So the answer is yes, we have a lot of those. And of course, the NR has one. I think, they have a lot of bulletins already for science-based rehabilitation. And few others like the Zoological Society of London, Forest Foundation Philippines also produced one guide on mangrove management and rehabilitation. So we have already a lot of information on the guide.
Thank you, DIXON, for that very good answer. Also, I think throughout the Philippines, palagay ko wala tayong mahanap na kada probinsya, kada community na di ba? So, palagay ko yung principles, how they are, working together through topography, landscape, and biosystems, palagay ko that is very important. So yun ang hanapin.
That's right.
Okay, so let's proceed with another question. Okay na po ba yun? Sabi dito, I've watched several commentaries about the Manila Bay with crushed dolomite. What does science say on the real score of the dumping of dolomite against planting of mangrove in Manila Bay?
Yeah, that's still a relevant question, and thank you for that. Of course, it's not really. I can say that it's not comparable because if you plant mangrove, that's the nature-based solution, and we are really advocating nature-based solution because it has a lot of advantages ecologically, even economically, to people and to the environment. But as far as planting mangroves on areas that we have now, that there is dolomite now, of course, again, I would not straightforwardly say that it's the right, it's the right thing to do instead, unless there's a study first. We have to look again to assess again the sediment, the tides, because it has already changed. It was, the coast of Manila Bay has been heavily reconfigured. That's why we have to look first on the potential and suitability of planting mangrove. But of course, mangroves, historically and ecologically, yan talaga yung kanilang habitats. The name Manila came from Maynilad, which is came from that particular mangrove species, nilad. So it used to be that coast was predominantly, covered with mangroves. Kaya no question, perhaps, of growing back mangroves, but again, we have to check kung compatible and suitable ang mangrove rehabilitation in replacing dolomite.
Okay. Maraming salamat, ulit DIXON, sa tamang-tamang akma na sagot mo. Again, marami ditong mga mukhang magbabiral na itong ating ating chat group. Maraming humihingi ng kopya ng presentation. Malaking tulong daw to sa IEC activities ng coastal communities, And Ayun, siguro nagtatanong sila paano ma-access daw yung ganitong information. And I think later, no, meron tayong website on Back to Basic website.
Yes.
Plus mama yung website na yun. At hindi lang itong rich information na makuha nyo ngayon, but rather yung mga previous Back to Basic information. So, yun po ang nice namin paalam sa inyo lahat. So ngayon meron pa isa tayong napaka gandang tanong, entertaining siya. And ang tanong dito ay, not wanting to get political po, sabi niya ng anonymous attendee. Oops, nawala na. Ayun. Not wanting to get political po, but is it feasible to plant mangroves on the Manila Bay instead of having Dolomite project, given the current situation of the area? Follow-up question pala ito.
Yeah.
Oo. So okay na to, nasagot na to, di ba?
Yes po.
So, meron pa isa, hello, good morning. We are currently researching on the existing mangrove nurseries as part of our thesis. What are the usual problems in monitoring the mangrove propagils in the nursery?
Okay. Well, nursery production and management is not an easy, it's not an easy task because talagang you have to look for the sources of not only propagules, even seeds, no? Sasabi natin mga propagules for the pagkawan, but it needs a lot of skills as well. You need funds and technical know-how to maintain it. And the usual problem is, the limited information. If we want to do nursery, it's really important that we are, ready with all those information. Kasi talaga, it's far more challenging to maintain and, do nursery production for mangroves. You need to situate it or locate it on areas na dapat ay hindi rin mababaha or pag tumaas yung pag nag-high tide, those considerations, a lot of considerations. That's why, my suggestion in coming up with a nursery facility, and even the production, we have to look for other experts, even engineers, who are familiar with the tides, and the slope, biologies, because what we need to grow there are plants coming from, the most ideal mother trees. But, again, there are already guidelines that can help us on how to go about it step by step. If you're interested, then I'll send you one of those, materials that I know.
Okay,
Thank you very much for that question.
building nursery in the different parts, no?
Yes.
Relevant for reforestation of the mangrove areas. Meron pa isang tanong dito, Dixon, ang sabi niya, thank you for the very useful information and the timely call to action. And ang question niya is, do you know of any relationship between mangroves and the fish community as we rehab mangroves? What is the effect on our fish population? Is it symbiotic? Thank you. This is from Carlin Arceo.
Yes. The answer is straightforward. Yes, so many studies already. If we're keeping, healthy mangroves, diverse mangroves, natural mangrove, then talagang because many fishes, different species are, they use mangrove or they place. How to say that? They go to mangroves for spawning and nursery, for nursing. For laying eggs. On top of those, we have crabs, shrimps, talagang marami ito. It's a multiplicity of ecological services. So the answer is yes, of course. No doubt about that. Science already proved that. Yeah.
Mahalaga din dito yung crabs, no? Ang sarap pa naman ng crabs, no? Sarap tanghalian. And even in the ecosystem, meron